There's been a lot of buzz about what exactly happened behind the scenes of Outer Banks between Madison Bailey and Rudy Pankow, and whether it has anything to do with JJ's sudden demise. And we've collected all the facts and are here to break them down so you can understand how deep and severe the drama on set was and the damage it caused. Like every cast in the show, Madison and Rudy became well known with Outer Banks primarily through the unique chemistry they shared on and off the screen. And of course, the fans loved these two cast members and wish that what they shared wasn't just fictional, which is a situation most lovers in a show face. But this expectation didn't last, as fans noticed that Madison and Rudy, who both play Kiara and JJ, began to avoid each other in interviews and became more than careful about being seen even as friends. So when this happened, it was concluded that the fans had destroyed this great friendship between them by shipping them in real life. But are the fans really to be blamed, or did something romantic and awkward happen behind the scenes that made it too hard to move forward as friends? Madison and Rudy may have been able to withstand each other while filming Outer Banks Season 3, but they couldn't hold on to the lies anymore for Season 4, as they had to use stunt doubles for a cuddle scene by the fire. And it became apparent instantly that Rudy and Madison couldn't stand each other anymore and were counting the days when they no longer had to be in the same space. For the rat scene where Madeline and JD were locked underground, they couldn't even use stunt doubles for that, so it's wild that Rudy and Madison couldn't cuddle without needing help. It's even more surprising that Madeline Klein and Chase Stokes dated in real life, broke up, and still maintained their professionalism and chemistry more than Rudy and Madison, who claimed to be just friends. But how did things sink so low that Rudy asked to be written off the show that made him a star? To better understand this, let's go back to the beginning when they first met. Rudy and Madison met on a plane before they officially knew each other. Rudy first saw Madison and instantly figured out that she was Kiara. But the fantastic thing at this point was that Rudy already landed the role of JJ, while Madison was still going through auditioning, as she was yet to receive her final call for the role of Kiara when Rudy spotted her on the plane. To confirm his suspicion of Madison being Kiara, Rudy went into detective mode on the plane, found her Instagram, and DM'd her. Madison excitedly revealed how all of these played out, saying, "I had a DM from him. He said, 'I knew you were Kiara the second I saw you,' and I was like, oh my god, did this guy 3 seats up just DM me? He went and found our mutuals, found my page, and messaged me." Not long after their first meeting on the plane, Madison became Kiara, and it's somehow believed that Rudy influenced the result because he didn't want to act with any other Kiara if Madison wasn't playing the character. Then they became great friends as soon as they secured their roles, which helped them act naturally around each other. They could improvise and say random things because they were mostly joking around and having a good time on set. Before we got introduced to Kiara and JJ, Madison and Rudy were great together, and they had a lot of fun hanging out on set, which is evident from their early pictures and videos together. When we finally saw the show on the screen, the chemistry between JJ and Kiara was undeniable, and fans immediately picked up on it and started supporting it. Interestingly, Giara's popularity among the fans was one of the factors behind Outer Banks' successful launch, despite the characters not being together at the time. Kiara initially had a minor thing with John B before dating Pope, but people only wanted her to be with JJ. They were so comfortable on set that they improvised a lot, and some of their improvised scenes can be seen here, where they are just being themselves. But then their fallout has been continually blamed on the fans, and we are about to show you what happened behind the scenes, which is more profound than what went on the surface. When the shipping started, Madison and Rudy were all in for it, and their excitement about being lovers on the show couldn't be hidden.
Me and Rudy are like this. Rudy's like my bestie. He's the first person I'm gonna call out of everybody for really anything. And so like we have a lot of chemistry because of that, because we're really good friends.
When asked about Giara, Madison had to first speak about herself and Rudy, where the chemistry between their characters originated from because they had a special friendship. Even Rudy couldn't hide his happiness about having a romantic storyline with Kiara on the show.
The end game of the OBX, I can see JJ and Kiara being like all right, there's something here.
However, after Giara's shipping started, Madison and Rudy began to fuel the narrative in real life by posting cute and cozy pictures of them together. In an Instagram post made by Madison, where she posted a picture of herself and Rudy, she captioned it, "The content y'all came for." There were many more selfies and cuddly photos from these two to support Giara, but this eventually got them shipped in real life with the name Rudison.
There's Key, looking hot as ever. Goddamn. All right, this tour brought to you by JJ, aka Rudy Pankow. See you later.
They were also so goofy with each other on and off the set that they couldn't help but showcase it all. It got even crazier but better when Rudy was seen in another footage playing with Madison's hair up to the point of putting her hair in his mouth, and the fans loved it, even though this was no longer content but the cast just being themselves. At this point though, there were no girlfriends involved, and the drastic changes that came when their significant others got in the picture is something that you can't make up as we spill and show you all exactly what went wrong. But before then, let's get to see another lovely Rudy and Madison moment on and off the set of Outer Banks.
Leg day. Leg day. 99. Oh God. Oh God.
It got even more fascinating when you realized both joined in the shipping of their characters, which you can see here in this screenshot of them being excited about Giara's ship sailing. Sadly enough, this great friendship was short-lived, not just because of the girlfriends, but also because of something private between them, which will turn everything around for you the more you find out in this video. In May 2020, barely a month after the season 1 release date, rumors started that Rudy was dating Elaine Seamek, a former assistant to Jonas Pate on the set of Outer Banks, but has now been fired. Then, the following month, Madison Bailey confirmed she was dating Mariah Linney, whom she met on TikTok, and hit it off from there. And that was the beginning of the end of Giara and their friendship on set. Soon after, we stopped seeing their usual selfies, videos, and posts, and Madison implied their friendship had been ruined in a Twitter post that said, "The internet has ruined an abundance of friendships." However, people already hated Elaine before she even came into Rudy's life for being a racist, shaming other women over their appearance, and not having regard for mental health. She was also once seen dragging Rudy away from the fans while he was speaking with them, and that was the period Rudy was just getting into the limelight. Claims and speculation started to come up on how Rudy started adjusting his life to please Elaine. For Mariah, the fans began disliking her after she revealed in a live Q&A video with Madison that she doesn't like Rudy.
Stop. Rudy's my friend. Rudy is my friend, yeah.
Who is this? Shit. No, we're not doing this.
Then, the lovely interview moments and behind-the-scenes cozy pictures of Rudy and Madison stopped. Both Mariah and Elaine started spending more time on the set of season 2 with their partners, and even got to see the script and learn about everything that would happen before it was filmed and aired. Elaine also started photography on the set and always hung around the cast to spend time with her boyfriend and take pictures. So, the fans were angry about this and started attacking Mariah and Elaine. It was so awful that Madison had to speak up to defend her girlfriend and tell the fans to stop shipping her with Rudy or making up false narratives. Rudy also went online to write a long post defending his girlfriend from internet trolls because he thought they were angry at her because of Giara, but the fact was that people were more mad at Elaine's digital footprints of being a racist even as an adult. Then, to show they don't care anymore what people say and that they only have each other, Elaine posted a picture of herself and Rudy with their hands signaling F you to some fans and parties involved in their business. This whole issue spiraled to people digging up a picture of Elaine allegedly cheating on Rudy while they were in Italy, and she denied this by saying her fingernails look different from the woman in the cheating photo because she picks on hers due to anxiety. This cheating allegation is even crazier when you realize Rudy was dating Teodora Marcella when he met Elaine in 2019. It was rumored Rudy cheated with Elaine before Rudy broke up with Teo and started dating her in 2020. However, season Season 3 was Giara's moment to explore the relationship people had anticipated from Season 1. While we got that on screen, the cast, Rudy and Madison, became more distant behind the scenes and didn't even get a chemistry shot for their characters, despite being the biggest lovers of that season. Around this period, Rudy started deleting these pictures of himself and Madison from his Instagram. Then, their separate interviews where they talked about their characters became even more awkward. At this point, some fans dedicated time to watching these two cast members to figure out what went wrong. They discovered Rudy was avoiding Madison's posts, as he once liked and disliked one of her Season 3 photo dumps on Instagram. But what irritated people was that they got no Season 3 behind-the-scenes photos of Kiara and JJ. They got mad at Elaine, the set photographer, who was supposed to feed the fans, so she responded by releasing some images of them together. The drama never ended even while filming Season 4 because that was when they started unfollowing each other, beginning with Madison unfollowing Elaine, then Elaine unfollowed Madison and Mariah. Interestingly, Mariah immediately took action by unfollowing Rudy and Elaine, while Rudy unfollowed Mariah, which was weird because they had all hung out the previous night. Unlike what the fans have been made to believe, they aren't the reason why Rudy and Madison fell out, even though they contributed to it. Madison herself reposted and supported the claims that Elaine was the person who came in between them and started all the issues that ended their great friendship. Shortly after, Elaine was fired on set for being a nuisance and hating on Giara. She was close to Jonas's daughter Lila, but they fell out after she was asked to leave the set, which was why Madison initially unfollowed Elaine. However, Rudy started considering leaving OBX after Season 3 when Elaine was let go. Although they were still shooting Season 4, Rudy was already over it and made his intentions to leave the show known. Another unfollowing drama pulled up again when Josh Pate unfollowed Rudy even though he was still following the rest of the cast. It was apparent that the Pates were frustrated about how to go about this situation. People have often wondered why the directors allowed the cast to run the show with their internal beef, and it's only because there's nothing they could do to change what went down or the decisions the cast chose to make. After Elaine was let go, Madison's girlfriend, Mariah, stepped up as the behind-the-scenes photographer. During the Season 4 premiere, Elaine posted a video of herself with Rudy to show she was in attendance, and Mariah made her presence known by posting an image of the cast, but cropping out Rudy from the frame. Before Season 4 was released, JJ's demise was already leaked on Tumblr by an insider on the set, as they explicitly stated that JJ would pass away in Morocco during the finale. This same person revealed JJ asked to leave the show and did not want to renew his contract, which shocked the Pates and even Madison, and the only way to get rid of a popular character like JJ was to execute him. Funnily enough, the showrunner's narrative says that JJ's demise has always been planned. Still, more sources from the set have revealed this to be a false story agreed upon to take the heat off the drama and let it all end with Rudy leaving the show. It has also been leaked that many fan theories that some real romantic feelings happened between Rudy and Madison are true. Also, an alternate ending for Outer Banks 4 was shot in which Rudy lived but wasn't used in the final production. The alternate ending was shot mainly to see if Rudy would change his mind, but it became apparent he was ready to move on and leave OBX behind.